Good people, what is going on? Another episode of the Ugly Podcast. I'm your host, Desmond. Thank you for tuning in. Greatly appreciate it. I think it's been beneficial to me to give myself like a day before I hop on and talk about my Detroit Lions. Because it gives me time to be a little more rational as a fan. Fan is short for fanatic, so we're a little crazy. We're a little off the beaten path. And that's what's great about sports. That's what makes sports so awesome is the fans. People who are crazy about, their teams and all that good stuff. So the Lions beat the Giants, what was that final? 34-27 in overtime at home against a Jameis Winston-led New York Giants team. Jackson Dart was still in concussion protocol, and Jameis got the start. So initially going into the game, in my brain, I'm like, the Giants are a 2-win team. We're going to win this game. It should be a stress-free game. We shouldn't be in some type of dogfight, so on and so forth. And that's exactly what we had. I mean, you could argue worse than a dogfight because, in my mind, when I think about a dogfight, I think about a game going back and forth. That game was one-sided a lot. The Giants come out, first drive, they go out and score on it was like a flea flicker reverse. And the frustrating part on the Wan'Dale Robinson deep throw touchdown on the first touchdown that the Giants scored was we were about this close to sacking Jameis Winston. And he makes an athletic move, sidesteps, takes a step up and throws the ball for a touchdown. And it's a trick play. And they get all the credit in the world for scoring on those because for the Lions the last couple of years, we've scored on a bunch of those. But this wasn't just solely like, oh, man, our defensive back stink or, the communication was poor and someone messed up. This was a play designed to, the flea flickers and those types of things. There are keys that you should read as far as a safety and corners to know what you need to do on that. But I'm not going to go nuts and say, oh, the defense sucks because they gave up that play. But nonetheless, they score. And for the Lions, it was just tough for us to get going. I can't remember if it was that first drive or the second drive where Jared throws a pass to Amon-Ra. He not only drops the ball, but pops it up in the air, and the Giants pick it off, which, it's football. It happens, but it just rarely happens to Amon-Ra St. Brown, and this has been a weird season that he's had a lot of these. For Amon-Ra, one drop is odd for him. I think he had last year, was it 100? I might have the numbers off, but essentially 150 targets last year, and he had one drop. So, we're talking as sure-handed of a guy as you can have, and that wasn't the only drop he had in the game. He had, I think, 3 drops in the game, 2 or 3 at least. Brock Wright had a drop early in our first drive. It was Jared got some pressure, stepped up and threw about a 4-yard pass to Brock Wright. And it's about as easy as a catch as you can make in the NFL, and he drops it. And we get 3rd and 7 and just not great. And then we end up giving up another touchdown on another trick play from the Giants. And it makes sense for the Giants. They have nothing to lose. They're a 2-win team. It's not even their future quarterback that's the one taking the snaps. It's a backup, Jameis, who they know isn't their future starter. He might be, a backup for the future because I think Jameis is actually a great backup quarterback. But they're just throw everything, throw the kitchen sink at him. Let's see what happens. And just another odd play. We have the wide receiver, number 80, I can't remember his name. We have him wrapped up. He breaks a tackle, steps up, and just throws a jump ball to Jameis Winston, who with Derek Barnes covering him. Jameis out here looking like a tight end / wide receiver, making big plays, catching the ball, stiff arming, breaking tackle, it was unreal. It was unreal. It was frustrating because once again, we have the guy wrapped up and just can't bring him down. And they get the touchdown and it all counts. But on the Jameis throw, the reverse pass, if you end up sacking him, it's an awful play for the Giants. It's a 7-yard play. The drive's dead. Same thing on that reverse that they end up doing with the receiver throwing the ball. If we just wrap him up, it's an 8-yard loss. The drive's dead. But instead, ends up 2 touchdowns for the Giants. The Lions end up, scoring 2 touchdowns before halftime. I think we were down 17-14, if I'm not mistaken. And I had texted my buddy Dre and just said, this first half has been a nightmare, and we're only down 3. I mean, this is as good as you could hope for, but I didn't feel great about the game. It's like, this just seems like I'm not sure if it's just the Giants' day, but I know for sure, it's not the Lions' day. It wasn't our day on Sunday. And we end up, coming out and making some plays. It was to sum it up, it was a bad performance for just about everyone outside of Jahmyr Gibbs. And even with him, he had a couple awful pass pro reps. And once again, I come to you begging for a certain number 5 on our team to get the freaking ball. Now, it wasn't as if Jahmyr had, 25, 30 carries. He only had 15 carries in the game. But once again, I just don't understand why we cannot get David Montgomery the ball. Like, is he in the doghouse? Am I missing something? I would love for Corey Woods, who covers the team, to put something out there. What am I missing? Why is this another 5-carry game for David Montgomery? He's better in pass pro than Jahmyr Gibbs, and he brings a physicality that Jahmyr Gibbs just doesn't. And once again, I'm a huge fan of Jahmyr Gibbs. When the Lions drafted him, because I'm an Alabama fan, I saw him and Bryce Young collectively carry an offense in the SEC. Now, they didn't win the national championship, but we'd have been a lot worse without those 2 guys. And Bill O'Brien was doing his best to make our offense look incompetent. So when the Lions drafted him, I'm like, this is amazing. This dude is super explosive. He's great. And he's great now. He's done all of that and more. But the fact is, he is better when he gets probably 3 to 4 less carries and let David Montgomery break that defense down in the first half, hit them with a 235-pound body, a sledgehammer, for a full half. And in that second half, that's when Gibbs can really eat. Now, he ran for 250 yards, so I'm not going to go crazy about the production, but I still think that's a winning formula. It's shown the last 2 years. And I've mentioned it on the channel, and I'm just repeating myself because we're doing the same things over and over. It's just Jahmyr save us, Jahmyr save us, Jahmyr save us. And I don't think we're going to be at our best doing it this way. Number one, our defense has moments where they struggle against the pass. Now, run defense, I thought did pretty well. There was a stat, I think it was late in the game, but the Giants had run about 42 plays at that point, and they were like super balanced. It was 20 passes and I think 21 runs, but on those 21 runs, they were less than 50 yards, if I'm not mistaken. So the defense did a terrific job run defense-wise, but my point is we need to run the ball. We need to have a little more ball control. I feel like Bud Kilmer from Varsity Blues. But I just think that's when we're at our best, right? You get a little more time of possession, put a little more pressure on the other offense because you hold the ball for so long, and it makes it really difficult for offenses to find a rhythm when they're only on the field for, 3 plays and got a punt, and then they got to sit for another 7-8 minutes of football time, not real time. So I just think we're not doing a great job of utilizing our weapons. Also, Sam Laporta had believe they said a season-ending back procedure. That is going to be a major factor for our team for the rest of this season. It's a huge factor. And I think you could see part of that in the game against the Giants, because we were missing that short to intermediate passing threat. And when Jared gets pressure, he typically finds Laporta. That is his, when Jared catches the ball, we're in the shotgun, a quick 1-2-3, he's finding Laporta a lot, or was finding him. And I think that's going to be a big deal. Brock Wright, like, dude, you're starting as a tight end, man, and the third pass of the play of the game, you're dropping the football. Like, come on. It's go time, man. It is go time. So we'll see what happens. I mean, the frustrating part is the Lions are loaded with weapons, even without Laporta. Now, I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to tell you that he's not important. Huge loss for us. I think he's a top 2 tight end in the NFL. And I'm not coming off of that. I feel that about Sam Laporta. He's a great blocker. He's great catching the ball, great breaking tackles. To be as big as he is, he's got some good feet, a little elusive. So Laporta is going to be a big loss for us. But we've got to do a better job of helping out the O-line. And just, we just get into a rhythm where we just want to throw the ball like again and again and again. And to me, at no point were we ever out of that game where you should have abandoned the run. If it's to me, anything in the first half within 10 points, you should not change your offense one bit. Not one bit. Third quarter, if it's 2 possessions, don't change your offense one bit. Until you're looking at probably 10 minutes, 9 minutes, you should still run your base offense. At no point should you abandon the offense and go 5 or 6 plays in a row throwing the ball when you're within a possession or 2 in the game. It just was silly. So Dan's got to do a better job, man. You've got to calm down a bit, and just relax. Like, run the ball. Give me a little more David Montgomery. Run the ball and just relax. Like, I feel like we went into panic mode like way too early in that game, and it worked out. I mean, obviously it could have been worse. Could have lost. We didn't, so that's a positive. But man, as we get ready for Green Bay in 2 days, it's a huge game. I would say this game is the biggest game of the season for the Lions. It's another division game. We have already lost to the Packers in embarrassing fashion, mind you. I think 24-6 or something was the score in that game, week 1, I think. But it wasn't even that close. It might as well have been 40-1. It was bad. But if we can come out, run the ball, just be effective when it comes to offensively and defensively, just keep playing our game. I know that Josh Jacobs was out last week on Sunday. I don't know if he's planning on playing on Thursday. I haven't seen any reports, but I also haven't really looked. I just saw he was out. But Jordan Love is as streaky as they come. So he can shoot, 4 for 5 3-pointers, or he can go 0 for 5 3-pointers. Like, he's a guy that is very streaky. So to me, it's not some foregone conclusion that he's going to come in here and throw for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. He could just as easily give us 2 interceptions and totally change the game and really throw his team out of it. So it'll be interesting to see. Although the defense did give up 27 points, but, a couple of them were trick plays, and it just was – Jameis did throw for 400 yards, but I think the defense played solid. It wasn't great by any stretch. Pass rush, another issue, of course. But I've said that 100 times just this season. But yeah, I thought the defense was solid. 2 of the touchdowns were on trick plays. Now, you could make an argument that they were going to go down and score anyway, but until it happens, it doesn't happen. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, Lions, it's a huge game on Thanksgiving. Will be exciting to see how that goes. Yeah, that's it for me. Appreciate it. Peace.